I can argue there are three.
Okay. What's the third one?
The one they use in all banana republics.
Okay.
Damon Dash.
Yo. Yo, the segues are crazy.
But it is true. He's never been humble.
That's
That's
true,
why
yeah.
he doesn't have business partners anymore.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, you can argue that because he's never been humble, and I think if you ask him, he will say that he's humble. But he's always been aggressive, and that's also gotten him to a certain point, right? Maybe he got some breakthrough opportunities that he wouldn't have gotten if he wasn't that aggressive. But there comes a point where you can't do that. So it's and those you I mean you can always attribute short-term goals, short-term wins with tactics like that. But if in the long run you're gonna burn bridges and people will remember, and if they can find a way to keep you out, they will.
They will. They will. I think that's the reason why Jay-Z cut
Ask
him off
or
at a certain point.
ask Antonio Brown.
What happened to AB?
He can't get in. He can't
Maybe
get in the NFL, man.
that might be true, but I mean, maybe he doesn't want to. Maybe
I
he
would I would
realized,
say that I would say that too.
maybe he realized the CTA has been kicking in, and he's not doesn't want to go back in. But at the end of the day, I think so. The problem with Damon is as follows: the court has ordered him to sell his Rockefeller shares to settle a
Mhm.
debt. So this is what Hollywood Unlocked is saying about this story. Damon Dash is facing a significant setback as a New York judge has ruled that he must sell his shares in Rockefeller, a decision that comes against his wishes and those of his former friend and business partner Sean J.C. Carter. This ruling stems from Damon Dash's failure to satisfy a 800,000 judgment awarded to a movie producer, Josh Weber, over a defamation and copyright infringement case related to a 2016 film, Dear Frank. So this is the problem a lot of times with Damon, right? He oversteps a lot, and when you overstep, you have to be able to correct that in the right
What
way.
what do you mean
So in
by
this case, we,
over
we defame someone,
defame someone?
defamation case.
Yeah,
He lost it and a copyright, so he lost that case.
yeah,
If you if you want to defame someone, make sure you have the money to pay for it, or don't talk crazy.
yeah.
And also copyright infringement. Come on, man, what are we doing? There have been talks that he's been doing some weird stuff with copywriting in the past. So anyway, I don't know what's true or not because I wasn't there, but that will get you in trouble. What else do they say? The legal friction between began when Weber dismissed Dash from directing a film for Muddy Waters Pictures, alleging Dash is unfit for the role. Dash retaliated by accusing Weber of commandeering the movie footage and then distributing it under a new title, The Last. The conflict escalated into a court battle, culminating in Weber targeting Dash's shares in Roc-A-Fella to collect on the judgment owed to him. Sometimes when someone doesn't want to pay, you have to seek another way for payment.
Sometimes when someone doesn't want to pay, you need to seek. Okay, gotcha.
You,
Yeah, I
am I
was
right?
just processing what you said.
I'm right, right?
You
He didn't
need to
want to
find
pay.
alter. You need to find a way to obligate them to pay. I would say.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And hey, Damon had the shares on his name.
Wow. But I have to say, there's a chance. There's a chance that so there's a chance that there was like some other security rights on the so that the shares were collateral as well, or if they weren't collateral, that they maybe had a preservative attachment or something that might have hampered him from moving the shares to an entity or something.
So this is what the other part. Jay-Z and another Rockefeller co-founder, Kareem Biggsburg, voiced their opposition to the sale of Dash's shares, pointing to to the company's bylaws that require board approval for such transaction. However, their efforts were nullified by U.S. Magistrate Robert W. Lehrberger's decisive 15-page ruling. Lehrberger clarify that Dash's one-third ownership stake in the label is considered personal property legally permitted to seizure to fulfill the court's judgment. I know how this is gonna work.
How?
After what they can do is they can move the properties within that company to another company.
Yeah, afterwards. Yeah, but so the yeah, so the assets they would be moved.
Move the assets to
Assets,
another
assets
company
and
and then leave it an empty company. I'm not saying that this what they
yeah,
should
but
do.
yeah, but I mean, it's depending on what the bylaws say about that as well. So, is board approval needed? Do you need, to do the shareholders have a say in it? Technically speaking, it's always possible.
This is a
But on the
wild
other hand,
thing.
if it was, they could have done it before that already.
Maybe they've done it already. Who knows?
Yeah. In any case,
Can they
what?
do that, by the way, before this judgment? Could they have moved the assets before they knew this judgment? I mean, you have to as when you're in court, you never know what happens. So maybe you already moved it, and it's empty
Well,
shell.
in there's a rule. It's called Axiopoliana, and I'm looking at whether it's also so that's Latin, but it's basically, I don't know if in Alf I don't know to what extent it's also you have similar rules in the states, because it's Axiopoliana is so you have two types of legal infrastructure in the
Mhm.
West. You have like legal infrastructure that derive from Roman law, and you have legal infrastructure that derive from uh, Britain.
I can argue there are three.
Okay, what's the third one?
The one they use in all banana republics.
Okay, so I'm talking about like a democracy right now, right?
Okay, okay.
And in Roman law, so civil law, you call it. So you have common law and civil law. So civil law are usually all the so UK and all the colonies derising all former colonies of the UK have common law. If it's not all, then it's almost all of them.
Mm.
And in common law, case law is very important. On the other hand, you have civil law, which derive from the Roman law, more Roman law influence, and those are all the other countries, like Europe, especially
Mhm.
the democratic countries in Europe. In any case, and Akshapoliana is that you can in Roman law, I know, so the civil law legal framework, I know that it's not possible to well, it's possible to sell shares like you're mentioning, but at the same time, if a transaction was clearly made to avoid paying people money, or if a civil transaction was purely made or with the knowledge that by completing the transaction a person that would have right to money would lose it, you can ask the judge to reverse the transaction.
Mm,
So it's not like they can, I mean, technically speaking, they could, but it would clearly be
malice.
malice.
Okay.
And I
Chances
don't
are
know
they.
to what I think there's probably a similar rule in the common law legal framework as well.
Okay. Okay.